Hello everyone, Simon here. We're gonna make computer games. We're kinda gonna make computer games. So today I wanna work on art a little bit, and I'm just gonna start out by saying that I'm not an artist. So I'm pretty amateur at this, but I do have myself like a Wacom tablet with a pen and all that, and so I'm gonna start drawing. And I'm not here to show you how to draw well, I'm gonna show you how to draw badly, but then try not to draw badly. And we'll see how this goes. So I've done a little bit so far. Let me just switch over to full screen and to GIMP. So I'm using GIMP because GIMP is free and I'm cheap. And so I've drawn I've drawn quite a bit already, but I've got two characters I've been working on. So this is the teacher, the Faisal is his name, and this is Emma, the doctor. And you might think, well, that's not great, but it's not too bad. But I'm just going to show you what it was before I got to this point. So you see how I've got all these layers, right? So I started off with a rough sketch, which was kind of scaled up. So this was a much smaller drawing that I've just kind of scaled up. And then I tried to draw his face, which, I mean, didn't really work out. So the idea that the teacher is like this middle-aged guy from the Middle East, and he's like a philosopher. He's slightly overweight, and he's kind of really clever, but he's not very practical because he's a philosopher more than a practical person. So that's the idea, right? So he's kind of round, balding, and middle age, and slightly overweight. So that's the idea, right? So then I started with, as I said, a rough sketch, which I did earlier, and then I tried to draw his face. I thought, well, then that's not quite right, and then I drew it again. And it's better, still not quite right. So you can see me just trying to figure out the hair, like how much hair does he have, where does his eyes go, and then again, a third attempt, slightly better, still a bit weird, and then fourth attempt is where we got to the point where it's kind of good. Wait, why is this 100? This is 100% opacity, but it's not very opaque. So we got to this point, and this is pretty much how his face is by the end of it. So then I got his face to a point where I'm kind of happy with it, and then I went and drew the body, but then the body looks weird, like his shoulders are way too wide. You can see like his legs are kind of too big. He's not as overweight as he would seem. Like he seemed. Why is his shoulders so wide? Why is his arm so big? So then I kind of drew it, and then it doesn't really look right. So I'm gonna change it again to the next one. Which I went back to doing rough sketch. Like how big should the head be? So I thought, well, we'll make the shoulders narrower, make the arms narrower. We'll put his hand in his pocket so it's slightly more natural. Make his kind of belly a little bit bigger. So you can see me kind of trying to back out the rough shape of it. And then, again from that, going back to slightly more detailed, and then we get to this point, which is how he is now. And then I also tried out a bit of color. Actually, did I change anything from there to there? Let me just see. So I think I just went and copy and pasted. Oh no, I made the legs shorter. That's right, I made the legs shorter. So you see here, I made it like that, but then I looked at him and I thought, well, the legs are still kind of too long because I want him to be like this kind of stumpy guy who's really smart, but he shouldn't be physically imposing. He's like a teacher with a book, and he's like a nerd. He's a nerd, slightly overweight. And so I thought, well, maybe he shouldn't be so tall, right? So then I went and made him a bit shorter, just kind of shortened his legs a little bit by like a foot. And then that's kind of how I wanted. And then I tried out colors a little bit, just a little bit of tinting. That's not bad. That's not bad. And so then I'm going to leave the colors for now, but then I went back and made him smile a little bit less and used the sharp outline as the pen for the outline, and that's him. So if you kind of just go back and look through that, like you can see I'm not that good at drawing, right? But the point with drawing is that you only get better through practice. And so if your drawing is bad, what you should do is keep drawing. And if you keep drawing, you'll get better. And so I got to this point and I stopped and I thought, well, this is good enough. For now, at least. I'm pretty happy with this. He's got the belly, He's got the balding head, he's got the glasses, he's got a book, and then he's kind of nerdy and short and all that. But that's pretty good. And so Emma, the doctor, again, you can see there's much far fewer layers here. So, you know, the first guy, it took me a while to get to the point where I'm happy with him. The second person, slightly better. I'm doing slightly better. So I started off with that. Again, a really kind of rough sketch. Which is way too long there. But, you know, rough sketch, and then you just kind of go and basically the same thing. So you can see how her neck's too long. Her whole body is way too long. And, you know, like, I'm thinking, like, if you just starting out at sketching and you do something like this and you think, wow, I'm so bad at it, the worst thing you can do is to give up at this point, because that's not how you get better at drawing, right? So the point of this is, like, I'm showing you my bad drawings because I want to just I want you to understand how to draw well, which is not to just be amazing, but to keep going even when you're not amazing, because, you know, you go from there, so, well, like, she's way too long. Anyone can see that she's way too long, so I think I just kind of copy and pasted her, and I think I just kind of cut her legs, and I can see there's gaps. You can see there's like gaps there, so I just kind of cut her legs and then moved her feet up, and I cut her neck a little bit and moved her head down, and I cut her arms and moved her hands up, and so then kind of just shrunk her down until the proportions are kind of right. And then I drew over her again. Oh, I changed the hand at some point too. Where did I change that? So you can see how, like, she's holding this clipboard like that, like straight on. It seems kind of unnatural. Like, the clipboard is actually just straight on, which is kind of weird. So I kind of turned that around, gave her more of a hand, so she's holding the clipboard like that. But then I was looking at this, and like her coat is a little too long, and her shoulders seem to be a little bit too wide. Her arms seem a little too wide. Like, do you guys think that? Anyway, so I took this and I sketched over it again. Oh, like, her arms and shoulders are still too wide. It's getting better. Also, I made her face a little bit friendlier. Just slightly friendlier. Actually, her feet seemed a little bit small. Well, they're foreshortened. Anyway, so by the end of it, we get to here. So I kind of just narrowed down her arms a little bit. And not bad, you know, it's not bad. It's not great, it's not bad. I guess we're just gonna add some color and that should be okay. So that's the drawing that I've been doing. And that's two of the characters in the game that I want to make. So I guess in this video, or in the next couple of videos, depending on how long it takes me, I'm gonna do one more character. I'm gonna work on Harold, who is a homeless guy. He's recently homeless, so he's not kind of suffering that much yet, but he's a homeless guy. So the concept, before we start, let's just kind of visualize this guy. He's got a long face, he's Caucasian, curly hair, he's got a bit of a beard, freckles, and just kind of slightly gaunt, so he's kind of thin. He's hunched over a little bit, like as though he's carrying a lot of weight on him. Like he's a troubled character, so he's carrying a lot of weight on him, so he's kind of hunched over a little bit. He's wearing an oversized coat, so his coat is too big for him. And he seems tired, but at the same time he seems determined. So he's tired, but there's stuff he still wants to do, and so he's not giving up. But you can see that he's weary. He's weary, and he's not, you know, he's kind of a little bit tired, but serious and troubled, and, you know, slightly unkempt, but, you know, but not ugly or not threatening. He's like you imagine that if he cleans up, he'd be a good-looking guy, but then he's just kind of struggling a little bit. So and he's got a big coat. So that's the idea for Harold, the homeless guy. So, you know, so every character has a personality and a history and all that. So Emma, actually, I haven't. So tell me what ethnicity you think Emma is. I'm hoping that I'm getting this right. I've already told you that Faisal is Middle Eastern. It's not that obvious that he's Middle Eastern, but I guess with the skin color, like if we put the color back on, he's kind of brown. So he's Middle Eastern. Tell me what ethnicity you think Emma is. And as I said, Harold is Caucasian. So we go to New, and let's go with an A4 page. If I can go to here, A4 portrait. Alright. So just stick with A4 for now. And we will also open from my previous sketches. So I've got all the characters, you can kind of see it in the thumbnail there. All the characters have a brief sketch of the face and of the body, just to just previously done. So now I'm just gonna give the drawing a little bit of detail. So that's Harold. So you can see like he's got a long face, slightly gaunt, kind of freckles and curly hair, and he's wearing this kind of giant coat. It's actually not bad. I mean, you can see how he's kind of tired and sad. Maybe the eye's a little bit too sad, but that's kind of small, right? So this is Harold, and he's tall. And that's what I think he should look like. So we're going to work from that. So let me copy that and then paste that. Wait a minute. Can I just copy and paste? Yes. Alright, copy and paste that in there. We will keep his... Why can't I move that? Wait, why can't I move... Huh. Why does GIMP tell me I can't move it? What do I anchor this? Wait a minute, what's going on? Move the active layer. Why? Wait a minute. That's not right. What is this? Copy, paste, and I can't move this? What is going on? New layer? Move the... pick a layer or guide. Nope. Why does it... Oh, is it that? Nope, it's not that. Something's not going right here. Maybe... I hope it's not interfering. Wait a minute, what's going on? Let me just close that. Am I, like, pressing something? GIMP is a little bit awkward. GIMP doesn't always do what you hope it would do. Huh. Can't move. Why can't I move the... That's the strangest thing. Oh, wait a minute. Why can I... The pen works, but the mouse doesn't. Why is that? Hold on. What is even happening right now? Am I, like... That's the thing on the pen. The pen works. The mouse buttons don't work for some reason. That is the strangest thing. Anyway, I guess we'll just go with it, right? Well, I don't... hopefully that fixes itself. So let's just make him bigger. And scale. So he should be a little bit taller than... Oops, did I do that? Okay, it's working now. I don't know what just happened, but the mouse wasn't working for a while. So he should be a bit taller than Emma and Faisal. So Emma is that tall, let's say. So he really should be... I'm just kind of holding my... So he should be a bit taller than that still. Let me make him taller. And he's kind of too thin and too long, isn't he? I do want him to be... Oh, crap. I do want him to be like slightly bigger than that. But not bulky. Alright, so there's him. Let's start with that. And Let's go new layer. Let's lower the transparency on this, or lower the opacity, increase the transparency. So, all right. Well, let's just start sketching. Let's just start sketching. So we're gonna come over here. Don't do that. I thought I locked these palettes, but apparently not. Lock the. Why is that not locked? All right. So let's lock that. Let's start with a pencil, 2B pencil. So how should we do this? His collar's kind of too big. So his face is long. Let's say his face might do. Oh, it's lagging too because I'm recording. It's gonna be a little bit inconvenient. So because I'm recording with Open Broadcaster software, OBS, it's also lagging GIMP. That's why I haven't been doing these videos. Because when you draw while recording, it lags. Man. Alright, well, let's hope I can deal with that. So let's just say that's his head. And, oh, this is lagging a lot. Maybe I can't do this. Shoulders? Let's give him a bit more shoulder. Give him a bit more shoulder and his... So he's kind of, he should be fairly fit. So maybe his body is like that. Kind of tilted to one side, isn't it? Let me just wow, this is lagging a lot. And hips, maybe not so big, the hips. And I guess his legs. So I'm just kind of putting down the rough shape first before we do anything else. This is lagging really bad. Maybe I shouldn't do this. There isn't much we can do about the lag, is there? Alright, and then his legs, let's say, do that. Yeah, this lag is not really gonna work out for us. And then feet. Your feet, believe it or not, look like that from the front. Maybe he's wearing boots. Yeah, let's give him some boots, like army boots. So let's say, you know, that's his legs. And then his arms, straight down. Straight down. Kind of, maybe he's, well, his arms. Well, when your arms are straight like that, they're usually not very bulky. So he should be kind of muscular. Just a little bit muscular. Let's have him close his fist. And I don't know, it's kind of boring if he's just kind of arms straight down like this. Maybe I should kind of stick his arm inside his coat, like he's, like, you know, like maybe he's kind of holding something. Almost like he's got an injury or something. Wait a minute, where's his elbow? How long's the arm? So his arm like that, his elbow should be maybe down here. So stick his arm inside his coat. His shoulder's a little bit too sharp there. Let me just round. Make it a little bit thinner there. Thinner there. Bigger neck. Let's go for a bigger neck. And then his coat. This lag is really problematic. And it's because I'm recording. It's not... I mean, GIMP lags a little bit anyway, but the recording doesn't help. So let's do that. His coat comes down. How long should his coat be? Like if the coat is really this long, we won't see much of this. Maybe you like see the inside of the legs a little bit. Let's have the other side of his coat come down. Like that. Closer in. And his coat just kind of hangs off his body a little bit. Maybe like that. Well, actually, his arm's not there anymore. So his coat would just kind of, well, his coat would do this. Down this side. Is that really his face? Maybe his face should be a little bit wider. No, I want it to be narrower, actually, narrower. Like a narrow, thin, long face. And eyes are usually halfway up the skull. Wow, that's terrible. The leg's not helping. Although I shouldn't blame the leg for everything. Because that was a pretty bad line. Maybe I should... You can't see the pen, can you? So the way I've set up these things, I've actually got a bit of a tilt. So the pen, so if I draw it straight up and down, it's a sharp line. If I draw it tilted, it's a rough line. So I've set up the pen so that the tilt actually makes a difference. I should probably use that instead of just randomly sketching things. His eyes, let me just look at his face again. Come back here. So he looks like that. Probably his brow should be a bit more furrowed, I think. Although it's kind of difficult to draw at this scale. Let me zoom in into his face a little bit. So how should he look? Maybe he's so his eyes should be kind of soft, maybe. Maybe a little bit sad. What am I? I'm spamming undo, and I'm just pressing the wrong buttons. Maybe his eyes should be a little bit sad. That's too much. A little bit small, a little bit sad. Not sure about this. Maybe just do it. Just do it, and then we'll evaluate it afterwards. Let me just try and get it symmetrical at least. That's not really symmetrical. I want the brows to be a little bit furrowed. It's not really how to... The other thing we kind of want to do is like go to Google image search and just look for faces to copy. So it's got like a tall, thin nose, I think. Tall, thin nose. And like slightly sad face, slightly sad mouth. So like kind of like that. Huh. Is that... Well, he's got it's got facial hair in it. Oh, freckles, that's right, he's got freckles. From being outdoors too much. The leg doesn't help the freckles. Maybe his eyebrows should be bushier. Bushy eyebrows. Oops, too much. Okay, I mean, I said I shouldn't blame the lag, but the lag really doesn't help. Maybe there's too much of an arch on his eyebrows. Alright, and then his hair is just this kind of curly stuff. This is not gonna work. It's just this kind of mass of curly stuff. Okay, this is... Well, maybe, no, maybe he shouldn't... Maybe his hairline. Let me just, try to give him some hair with this leg. And he's also got like a mustache and beard. Curly as well. So this is just a rough sketch, as we said. It's not going to be the final thing. Man, I just want to... Maybe it's this pen? Maybe it's this pencil? That's being a problem? Ah, crap. Alright, let's just do that for now, and you can imagine that all of this is hair and hair and hair, kind of like that. Not very good. I'm not sure about his face, so let me turn off the background and then come back out here, because some of these lines shouldn't be here because we don't see his body behind the coat. In fact, some of these lines are kind of weird. Okay, some of this is kind of weird. Let me eraser. Oh, the eraser is lagging too. Let me just roughly erase some of this stuff, not worry too much about making it clean or anything. Man, look at that lag. It's so bad. It's because I'm recording. It's not always like this. GIMP isn't always like this laggy. You can't, if it's always this laggy, you can't actually draw with it, right? So let me get rid of this. I think this is too far out. I think we need to pull this line in a little bit. That's pretty messy, but so like his shoulders there. Yep. All right. So then, I think. Let me zoom out again. I think what's going to happen is it's going to be like there. Oops. Let's try and keep this straight. I think it's going to be more like that. Which is pretty much the same line as before, to be honest, but only slightly different. Make that horizontal, and I guess you can see the back of the coat behind him as well. See, the back of the coat might have like a little split. As coats do at the back. And he's wearing boots. Is his head too big? His head looks a little bit big to me. Wait a minute. Let me just zoom out. It's not great, is it? It's not great. Is it better than before? Not sure. It's not sure. What is wrong with him? Oh, is his arms too short? Hold on, let me just check his body size. If his legs are there... Maybe his legs are too long again. I keep making the legs too long, I think. Or he's supposed to be tall. Now let's just keep him that high. Maybe his arms should be longer. Because like when you stand up, let me just... I don't know if you can see this. Ow. If you can stand up, your arms, like your hands, reach just underneath your nuts. Your arms kind of reach past your balls, as it were. so his arms are a little bit too short because his balls would be there, right? And so his arms really should be... Actually, don't draw the background. So his balls should be like there. His hands should be down to, well, maybe it's about right. Maybe his hands should be just like there instead. And maybe like that should be his arms. But his arms, maybe his arms need to be bigger. Maybe his arms need to be like a little bit wider. Because he's a kind of, he should be a big guy underneath his coat. Maybe he should be a bit wider. Maybe he's not hunched over enough. And I think like his elbow should be there, so really his hand should be coming through to there, like that. So it's gonna scribble over this until we get it kind of right. Even that seems too short. Maybe he needs to be even longer. Just let me just start erasing here because it's getting a bit ridiculous now. So I think, yeah, so his arms really need to be longer. So you can see how we just fixing things as we go, kind of. And his coat is just back there. Let me get rid of some of this leg. What I really should do is make a new layer and sketch over it again, instead of just kind of working on the same thing and erasing stuff. What you should do probably is not erase, and just kind of go to the next layer once you start doing that. Let me just do this a little bit more. That seems a little bit better, I think. Oh, where's his pants? Let's see. His belt should be like there. He's got like a belt buckle. And then his pants, well, if his belt is there, then his pants would come down there. His pants would do that. Oh, he's got a shirt underneath. Let me just do that. Give him a shirt. Not sure about his face, though. Like, what is he doing? Like, he's holding the bottom of his ribs. Yeah, like he's injured or something, right? He's kind of just holding his. Okay, so we got that. How do we feel about that? Not sure. Let me just check his face again. So his face is like long. He's got cheekbones and then the chin. Let me go to Google Chrome. Let me just type in, what is the expression on his face? What is the name of the expression on his face? He's focused. What if we go to images of focused face? Focused face. Yeah, like the furrowed brow, like that. Is that? Alright, Robert Downey Jr. is a good focused face. Look at him. There you go. That's the face I want. That is the face I want. So the furrowed brows, and kind of the eyes just kind of gazing into the distance, not really looking at you, but just kind of looking at the distance, right? Yeah, that's the face I want. That's the face I want. So what should we do now? Let's go to a new layer, and then let's give this one transparency. Let's work on the face. Let's work on the face. Okay, let's work on the face. Let's zoom in. On his head. So his face is kind of long. Maybe that's too long. Maybe that's like including his beard. Let me just go to my pen. Pen normal, 0.5 millimeter black. So his head. His head. Not like if he was bald. If he had no hair, he would. Nope, I mean eye sockets. So this is how I kind of do things a lot, is sockets, cheekbones, like that. So I'm just kind of drawing like a skull. It's got like a tall head though. A large brain. We're gonna imply a large brain. And then like a cheekbones. And his chin. Fascinating. Fascinating. So you can see he's thin. Let's just check Robert's face again. Robert Downey Jr.'s face. So the eyebrows are like kind of furrowed brows. So we just start with the eyebrows. So we imagine. So we've got furrowed brows. Is that right? It's kind of right, isn't it? Maybe a little bit further along, at the peak further along. Not sure how I feel about this, but we're just going to try it out and see how this goes. I'm going to round this out a little bit. That's not symmetrical. Like faces are not always symmetrical. You know, like my face is not symmetrical. I don't know if you can tell, like my nose is slightly crooked. But I want it to look more or less symmetrical. His eyes are kind of staring into the distance. Maybe we don't make him like we like when you slant the eyes like that. It makes him a little bit sad. I don't know if I want to do that, to be honest. Oops, too big. Maybe he should be a bit tired. Let's go ahead and give him that. Nope. So tired eyes will have baggy eyebrow. I mean baggy like eye sockets or eyelids. Eyelids. So like, you know, baggy eyelids. Maybe that's a bit much. Oops. Don't. Wait a minute. We do. What the? What is that? Okay. How do you do baggy eyelids? Just want it to be slightly. I guess some of this will be in color. It's kind of too obvious if you kind of let the line. Is that too much? Maybe it's too much. Just a little bit. Just a little bit. Just a little bit. Okay, and let's do that. Let's do that. Let's do that. A bit more round. Let's do that. Man, he's pretty serious. Mostly it's the brow. His eyes are a little off center. Oops. Okay, his nose is fairly sharp. A long, sharp nose. Maybe a bit more at the end. Like that. And then his mouth is. Let's just see what Robert Downey Jr.'s mouth. Serious. Very serious. and like maybe slightly upturned. Look at this serious man. Serious face. Alright, so now his hair. What do we do about his hair? So, what does he look like here? Oh, he's got lines on his forehead too. Oops, don't do that. He's got lines on his forehead. So his hair is just big. So if you imagine his kind of curly hair all the way around his head, do we see his ears? You don't even see his ears, this guy. And so it's just like a continuous head, like a mane continuous around his entire head. And then it's got a mustache as well. I mean, this is pretty entertaining, right? So, so I guess his hair comes down. Like he's not old. Like he probably looks older than he is, but so he's not losing hair yet. And then let me just how's this facial hair gonna go? Kind of unkempt, and then like he's got lines on his forehead because he's always frowning, and he's got freckles. I guess it'd be weird if the freckles are symmetrical, right? Let's not make those freckles symmetrical. He's got freckles. Well, how's that look? That's pretty good. That's pretty good. Let me just erase his jaw. So the stuff behind the hair. Let me just erase the stuff behind his hair. See how this goes. This is kind of entertaining. I don't know if you guys are as entertained. Like you make his face appear on the page. Like this is, and because we're drawing people, you can imagine his kind of personality just from his face, right? Look how intense he is. Look at his eyes. He's got those crazy eyes. So you can kind of like you want their personalities and their characters to show on their faces, and so you can kind of see like his unkempt hair, his kind of furrowed brows, and like wrinkles on his forehead, and so on and so forth. Let me just erase that, and then like his hair just continues into his beard. So this is pretty entertaining. Alright, so his hair just continues into his beard. See, like this is pretty good. I think we're doing pretty well. Like as we said, I'm not a good artist. I'm pretty amateurish. But you can see how like the first attempt, pretty bad, not very good. And then the second attempt, much better. Look at him. That's him. That's Harold. This is the character that I had in my mind, and now he's a picture on the page. Like, this is amazing. So much fun. So entertaining. And there you go. There you go. That's him. His hair is not white. I'm just gonna leave out the colors. His hair is like this kind of dark brown color. That's great. Look at that. That's so good. I'm so good at this. I mean, that's terrible. That's kind of bad too, but maybe he needs to be longer. Maybe his face needs to be longer. Like, maybe it needs to be longer, less round. I don't know. Okay, well, there's him so far. So how do we feel about the long coat? The long coat. We don't want it to be too stylish. Let me go back to Google image search. Let me put down the pen. Focus face. Thanks, Robert Downey Jr. Thanks. So let's go Neo from the Matrix. Let's check what his coat looks like. Just the cut of his coat. We don't want our guy to be like Neo. Maybe like a tired Neo. You know, so he's like, you imagine that if he was slightly better kept, he would be kind of cool. But he's kind of tired and homeless, so he's not cool anymore. but you imagine that if he wasn't so tired, he might be good looking like Neo from the Matrix, right? So let's just see the cut of this guy's coat. View image. And view image. So, I mean, it's all black, you can't really see anything. So his coat, like, he's got shoulders. You can kind of see this. The shoulders are kind of sharp. And the collar. That's kind of, it's too formal. It's too formal. But it's kind of ordinary, isn't it? It's not that special. Probably this one. Long coat. Should his coat be longer? How long is Harold's coat? That's about the right length. Alright, so the shoulders probably... I mean, there, he looks really tired there because like he has really droopy shoulders. Makes him look really, really tired. Here, he's a little bit too strong. So maybe we... Because he's got muscles underneath. Or he should have muscles underneath. Maybe not quite that pointy. But still kind of wide, so like, I don't know.